Hey guys, this is Jim Fix, aka Fillmore. For those of you who love QF, a podcast about Howard Stern, and would like to donate some money, there's two ways now you can do it. You can join our Patreon page, which is listed in the graphic you're seeing now. But also, if you'd rather not do a subscription-based thing, even if it's $1 a month or what have you, you can use our PayPal account, which would be jimfix76@gmail.com. And you can donate whatever you like, however you like, one of those two ways, and we'd more than appreciate it if you'd like to do so. Thank you very much.
Makes me feel like you know what, though, but none of that stuff impresses me. I'm not a big star effer. I'm not really...
Stop it. Just stop.
I'm not into it.
Stop, please.
You think I'm a star effer?
Please. Why go?
Because I've gotten friendly with Kira. She lives in my neighborhood.
That's because you're a star effer.
No, she invites me to a million things. I said a star effer. She's a nice girl.
What were you doing this weekend?
I'm really into the internet now. I've developed a love of the internet. And I can't stand that this schlub, Phil Graham, is screaming that we have to censor the internet. It's repulsive to me. It's repugnant.
Listen, I'm very well versed on the new technologies. You know what a SIM card is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. I see it in my phone when I take the
You're
battery.
not only going to see it in your phone, you're going to see it in your car very soon, a SIM card. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And once that happens, it's called game changer.
I never read the social media comments about this show. I can't stand social media because I hate that people have power now. You know, in the old days, if you hated me, you'd have to write a letter to the station.
What do you think about Baba Booey? What do you think about Artie? Everyone likes Artie. Artie's super funny. They describe him as, a little bit crude, but funny and they're likable. Baba Booey, everyone loves Baba Booey. I'm reading the research, and then it gets to me and they go, well, because Howard's so controversial, maybe this is the reason for the result. Like, 40% of the people kind of like me. The rest of them think I'm a fucking asshole.
Really?
Crude.
Everybody
disgusting.
loves Artie.
Oh, Artie, yeah. They love
but
him.
are you sure they really know who me and Baba Booey are?
I don't know. They like you.
And the other thought I had was that if the FCC does kick us off the air, how would we reach these millions of people that listen to us? Will we just fade away? What if we have an announcement to make to them or we want to communicate with them? This would be a great contingency. So make it free, make it up there, and let the fans have fun. And I didn't have any moderators, nothing. I said, anyone can write what they want. So now when you go on there, there's like thousands of posts of just like, and I don't even know who the people are. It's almost like people who hate the show more than people who like it. And it's like you get on there and it's like, Stern sucks. He's a homo. Robin's a pain in the ass. That's a horse face. Artie's a jack off. Kill Howard.
Oh, well, what am I going to do? Anyway, the birthday bash is there for you for free. And not because I couldn't sell it to a network. Yes, many networks did want it, but I thought this
But
would
who
be
would
nice.
even think that way?
I don't know, and the thoughts are so rapid.
Welcome, everybody, to QF, a podcast about Howard Stern. I'm your host, Jim Fix, a.k.a. Fillmore, and this is part 3 of Fagula's Gambit. We've got a lot of clips to get through, so I'll try to make this as fast as possible going into it. With me, of course, is Raven Alexis.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Hopefully, keep you entertained tonight.
Yeah, we're going to go as quick as possible because we're really behind schedule. But before we start, there's a little PSA regarding the Facebook group specifically, or prospective Facebook members. We did not institute these rules. It looks like Facebook's getting really anal about what they put on the what will get you banned, basically, and it isn't us. It's not the mods. We guarantee it's not us, but I'm going to give you the list of things you can't say or type, really, on Facebook. So just for future reference. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt sucker, cocksucker, sorry, motherfucker, tits, tranny, white trash. That one I couldn't believe I got in trouble for. Bitch, any vaccine-related comments, faggy, faggot, anything, dyke, cum, pussy, jizz, anal, wishing harm, wishing death, wishing yeast infections. That one really, I don't know why. Don't name any Canadian wrestlers who died in 2007 who had killed their family. No hardcore anything. I'm not sure what that one it means. What's P?
Porn.
porn. Okay, that's porn. It looks like P/M, like Pam, the spray. Retarded.
Right.
Any kind of variation on retard, but I've seen some people get away with it, so I'm not sure if that's 100%. Any variation of the N-word, no telling people to suck it, no hate speech about death or killing unless you use @ for A or an exclamation mark for I or a number 1 perhaps. Be careful with the word hate. Just hate in general seems to trigger Facebook algorithms. No mentioning donkey punching or gifs of the animal and the word punch typed out. Do not use the gif in the pictures below because boners, like any kind of erections, basically, get you a hard time.
Even with clothes on.
Yeah. So here's another slut puppy is another one. Anything slut, slut shaming, slut something. The word slut for some reason is not allowed. Masturbation pics or vids and anything remotely looking like masturbation. Although there's some of those, like the Daffy Duck one, that's clearly not, but it looks like it. Maybe that might get you in trouble. I don't know. Nipples, men's or women's fetish stuff, squeezing breasts, and number 37, Raven type, no fun. So I guess that's the long and the short of that. When we left you last time, we were finishing February 15th, so we're going to go right through that. This clip is called Wig Watching Oprah and Eminem.
I know what you're thinking, Robin. Oprah, when she worked here, had a multi-year contract with Sirius, and she barely stepped foot in the building.
Never showed up. I never saw her.
But I'm the one everyone's keeping an eye on, and I appreciate that. To feel so focused on is good.
Martha Stewart probably came in 5 times when she had
No,
her
she was
contract.
here. No, she was here plenty.
What?
It just didn't matter.
What about Slim Shady?
By the way, the head of the company, I'm pleased, Robin.
So basically, he's bitching. He's still been moaning about that one Oprah deal she got way back when she didn't have to step in the building and got millions.
I'm not sure, but wasn't that like a $50 million deal that Oprah did with Sirius? And he never forgot that. And he's tried many times to get an interview with her, but it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. Never. She will not be related to him in any such way. She doesn't acknowledge him, nothing.
No, and in fact, he had to do a walking back with Gayle King. I've got the audio. I'll put it on my channel maybe this weekend. And it is funny because he's just like, well, she said you wished us to AIDS on us or something like that. And he had to fucking take it. Number 8, Fred, Robin dream about Wigless show.
Fred owes us a show for his father-in-law's funeral back in 2000.
That's right.
So you can do it with Fred, your makeup show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fred and I'll get together and do something.
Yeah, please. Go plan that now. And
we're going to do a music show.
There you go. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, Robin
can sing. And Robin will sing. You'll play the guitar.
That's right.
Fred.
I'll play guitar.
It'll be
can sing any song he wants.
All Fred compositions.
Can you imagine what that show would be like?
Oh my gosh. No. Just her cackling in between everything and yelling at Fred like, you're doing it wrong. You need to be in this chord, or that's not the way we practiced it. I don't know. I see her as a diva, and I still think they would take so much pleasure in doing something without him.
Oh yeah.
Just to get some sort of narcissistic feedback supply to their ego. And in that case, yeah, they would try it. And I'm sure they'd give everything they had just to like outshine him in some sort of way, passive aggressively.
Yeah. The next clip is called Bang O'Clock Bullshit.
Loved it. And so she goes, so I got amorous. I started like kissing her a bit. Normally she's like, I got to go do something. But she was like, He goes, you know what? You're going to get lucky today. There's going to be bang o'clock. Bang o'clock. I said, why do I have to wait for bang o'clock? I want it. And I realized this might be disgusting to a lot of people, the thought of me having sex. I know. I get it. Trust me.
Actually, it's more just unbelievable with Beth and science fiction. I don't know if it's as disgusting as much as it is just unbelievable. The next clip is called Wig Won't Rap. Can you explain this one before we go into it?
Oh, this was for Valentine's Day, and Wiggy made a painting like a 3 by 3 inch flower painting or some bullshit for beef. And he said he just held it behind his back because he couldn't wrap it because he doesn't know how to wrap. So he can't even put foil around the fucking thing. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne, a known drug addict and declining in mental health, figured out how to wrap a present in foil for his kids, but Wiggy can't wrap a present for beef. So his lazy ass just holds it behind his back and wings it at her.
So he needs a wrapping tutor. Okay.
Even Reduce. So I painted about this little flower. I was excited, to give it to her. I got a couple other things, little things. And I gave her we started out, I gave her gift. She loved it, loved her painting.
Did you wrap it? Did she have to?
No, I don't know how to wrap it.
There was no unveiling.
I kept it behind my back.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, my question to you, Raven, is what does he know how to do?
He knows how to nap. He knows how to tell fake stories and do parent impressions on the radio. He knows how to rewrite his history. And he knows how to inquisition his staff about their dicks. So yeah, they're probably his top skills right about now.
Okay. Clip number 11 is called Stinky Sex.
Turns to me. This is how impressed she was with this gift that I made her. She goes, you know what? You're going to get bang o'clock right now. I haven't even showered.
Oh, God.
Because the one thing I've said to Beth, I wanna have stinky sex.
Fucking vile.
She's always so clean.
What in God's name does that mean?
We know he already smells like an old lady with his hairspray.
Yeah.
That he uses, the wig reviver.
Yeah.
So now, apparently, he does nothing. So he's not sweating. He showers every day. What is he working up a sweat about? And then, she apparently does the rowing machine and, has, cat litter, whatever, all over her. So that, I guess, is stinky sex. If they haven't just showered or bathed immediately before, then it's stinky.
Mm-hmm.
And he was all about it this day, allegedly.
Yeah, of course. This is just him masterminding the latest sex fantasy for people who still believe he's straight. Okay, next one, number 12. Wig wants gay fans. Don't we know that?
Spears, she's got to be freed. She's got to, and then it was a lot of gay men. They're like, oh, Britney Spears, she's, she needs to run her own affairs and everything. I'm like, wow, that is a good, Cher, after it all was over, gay guys stick by Cher. Madonna, too.
Right. They're a loyal group.
That's a loyal fan base.
Okay, we're not finished this. We'll go through the whole clip, but then I have a question for you.
I want the gay audience. Because they're loyal.
What you're going to do to get them?
I don't know. I feel I have some gay audience.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they'll be carrying signs and trying to free you if you get into trouble.
Yeah, that's what I need. Like Judy Garland. She.
Okay, so we learned in the 2013 summit that he was trying to attract more gay listeners and erase homophobia among his heterosexual listeners. And this kind of leads into all of that in the content he's provided us and everything that we're hearing now, with Jazz, the transsexual, and he wants gay listeners because they're loyal to Britney and Lady Gaga and Madonna. So he just wants attention. He doesn't care where it comes from. So I think he's trying to double his audience in some sort of way by having hetero and homosexual people, if that makes sense, I guess, But he's just trying to bring in anybody. And I believe he's transitioning himself mentally, if not physically.
Very nuts, very weirdo. And this, but it falls in line with everything he's been doing. Number 13, Wiggervention.
Big Valentine's Day dinner. That was a big thing.
I had a great Valentine's Day because I didn't leave the house. And I haven't left my house, literally even to take a walk, in months.
Well, you can't walk now with all this snow.
Well, it's cold, but never mind that. I'm so happy that I don't have to leave the house. Leaving the house gives me such anxiety.
Well, see, now you're...
Okay, guys, just a little more, and I'm going to let you go, and you can have your way with this one.
to have, some kind of medical intervention once the pandemic is over.
They're not going to be able to drag me out of my house. This is it. I'm not leaving.
This is going to be one of those things where you'll see an ambulance and a bunch of police cars pull up, and everybody will say, "What's it?" They're trying to get Howard out of his house.
I'm not coming out. I mean,
that's so perfect. You know that like Robin would be the one to initiate that because she's going to be like, "Get your ass back in that studio. We need you. The staff needs you. You can't stay at home forever." And we're only a year into this. So even if things loosen up in 6 months, even another year, it's a year contract. So we're only beginning the first of the 5 years. And I just picture something, even if Beth has to SOS Robin on a text message or somehow and be like, "Get him out of this house. Get him back in New York City. I can't take it anymore. He's driving me nuts." So Robin thinks that he's going to need a wiggervention to get him out of the house. And I'm firmly behind that. I think Bob D would agree, and so would you.
Yeah, I think COVID only stepped up his Howard Hughes descent. Like, I think it only it only pushed him closer to it than he would have normally naturally have already gone to. By the way, guys, wiggervention was spelled with 1 G, just so you don't get all triggered and woke. The other thing was, he's always had to be pushed into things like, 93 or so, he did an interview where the interviewer asked him, "Well, what about, filming your radio show? And, and he goes, "I don't think that would work." A year later, Buchwald started them recording stuff, for the purposes of that. So it was always that, this being forced to record from home. He said for years, "I don't want to be on an ISDN line. I have to be in studio." Now he loves it. So he's not a proactive person, and he doesn't think, why don't even try it? Like, well, let's try it. It's always forced on him. So he's an idiot. He's always been an idiot. Now, next clip is called Vomit Alert featuring King of All Blacks. King of All Baby Veals first. That's 14.
Yesterday I
have air. It's in my house. There's air. There's air in my house.
In the house.
But you know what? Seriously, you don't even walk into your backyard and just take a breath?
No.
You're not sick of being in the house?
No.
Wow.
You haven't really walked out into the backyard or like some area that's open.
No, nothing.
In your house.
Nothing. I have not left my house. I don't want to leave my house.
You don't step out on the terrace for a second.
Nothing.
Now that's nuts, Raven. Like you have to get out. You get stir crazy, even if your house is as brilliant as theirs might be and all that shit. You have to get the fuck out and get some kind of air. No.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Just to walk outside, get some fresh air, sit in a chair. You don't even have to walk. You could just sit. He can't do any of this, apparently, if this is the truth, which is always a 50-50.
Yeah.
And he lives on a beach. All right. So snow or no snow, you can just walk, go outside with your boots, with your shoes, and just like take in some nature, get a new frame of reference, a new environment to kind of get a new perspective on life and forget about like everything you're doing inside. Get out of that loop that he's in. But
that's right.
I don't know. None of us are like him. I mean, really, he is just absurd.
He really is. He is in a nutso class of his own, guys. He is a great psychological study. I think if you were, on the outside looking in.
Zero. I have not left.
You haven't felt the cold.
That's right. Is it cold out?
Okay, now we're going back to regularly scheduled vomitus.
Oh,
this is
no.
a Vomit Alert featuring King of All
Sorry,
Blacks,
guys.
and we'll leave it at that.
just said or what Gary did. I don't know what's crazy.
You want to hear crazy? One of the guys told me he was talking to King of All Blacks, and King of All Blacks is into this thing with his wife now where she farts on him. He likes when she just gets on top of him and farts. Can you believe that, Ronnie?
I have no words. I just have no words.
Who does this? Please, come on, guys.
What's this methane fetish?
Just, we're at a whole new level of degeneracy.
Yeah. The next one is, I think
I'm out of words too.
Continuing this trend, sniffing chairs.
Conservator.
You know
what
else? Like he wants to be on. This is his dream, right? To be on the radio. It's his dream. I mean, he calls me all the time. How do I get on the radio? So he got on Wendy Williams, and you're gonna fuck that appearance up by sniffing her chair?
But why would you have King on if you didn't want a weirdo? I mean, King is a weirdo. I mean, the fact that he sniffed her chair would make great radio, I would think, like to confront him about it.
Why would that make great radio?
Weirdo knows weirdo.
I guess so. Yeah. This next clip is called Man Ass Wins.
Right. It's more of King of All Blacks and trying to get him to sniff men's panties. I think it's been a month, so let's see what it is.
Can you tell the difference between man ass smell and woman ass smell if you're blindfolded?
No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not smelling no man ass shit.
No, what I'm saying is we'll blindfold you, and like I'll put Ronnie's ass in front of you, and then I'll put I'll find like a young hot chick.
Okay, now that's okay. That's enough. That's Wig trying desperately to get some gay, like smelling fetish action in front of him. That's all that is. Raven?
Yeah, he's just mining for more gay content at this point. And he's trying to feel out like staffers for, well, if you call King of All Blacks a staffer, he kind of is at this point. But he even goes to JD and asks JD, like, who, out of all the golfers, who do you think is the hottest golfer? Or on the Grammys, who do you think looked the hottest? So he's trying to push his own staff any way he can for gay content for guys that are have never thought about any kind of homosexuality. But if they want to keep their job and they want to earn their commission doing bits, this is what they have to stoop down to.
And it's the reason why you don't hear from Mehmet anymore is because he refused to go down that gay road.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was going like he was almost like teasing them because he's kind of twinkish and he looks a little fruity, but apparently is 100% straight. I don't know, but otherwise you would have heard a lot more Mehmet than fucking Wilding because clearly Mehmet was more Wiggy's type.
Right. So what Mehmet is doing now is pimping out his girlfriend for crazy stuff that's going on in their new apartment that they had to move out of New York City because it was rat infested and they couldn't afford it on his salary. Also, Mehmet is taking over part-time with Wolfie on the Whack Pack material because Shuli's gone. So Mehmet is now covering part of the Whack Pack because actually no one realized that Shuli was doing 10 times the work of like one person. And he actually was spending all his personal time talking to Tan Mom, High Pitch Eric, Jeff the Drunk. Oh, Underdog Lady. God bless her. She's actually one of my favorites, but not for the reasons that other people like her. It's because she's so genuine and so sweet and so damaged that I just feel for her. And I'm glad that they're not getting her and that she's calling Shuli and having conversations with him and not the show. But yeah, Mehmet won't do gay, but he'll do Whack Pack. He'll stoop to that level of basically harassment or I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just exploitation of the Whack Pack. That's what I wanted to say.
Number 18, what a wig wants.
What I will do is I can't do that. I'm married, but I would like to to pick out of 3 girls which panties belong to which girl.
I don't care about that. I want man ass involved.
No, I don't.
I want man ass involved. So there you are, guys. I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck more do you need from us? What do you really need? That wasn't a joke. That was that really was. I don't know. There's no nuance involved.
We're just slinging out more and more proof of everything we've suspected over the years, and now we can back it up with all these clips. This is where the show is heading. If this is what you enjoy and this is what you want to hear, great, you're all set. But if you want the old stuff, then good luck. You probably be better off just canceling and setting up a PayPal account for some people who could really use your help.
Exactly. King of all blacks sniffing panties.
Well, King used to, I don't know if you know this, Robin, but he used to steal dirty panties out of hampers in girls' houses when he'd be visiting someone. Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I know his actions have bordered on criminality.
He's a fucking degenerate. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. King of all blacks, that's, I can't even explain that.
Part of me hopes that this is just fake, that he's just making this shit up. Because if I knew a person that was coming into my house and doing this shit, there is no fucking way they're coming back. Are you kidding me? What kind of awful person does this?
Yeah, and admits to it.
It's such an encroachment upon one's privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to get off on that in your own house, and he calls himself Hamper Man. Like, that's some title of pride. I can't. No, sorry. I have a young girl. She's a preteen. If I found out some creepo was doing that shit, I'd be on the police so fucking fast. You have no idea.
Totally.
Mama Bear strikes back.
Number 20, get your barf bags now.
That's not a crime. That's not a crime.
That is a crime. You can't steal someone's panties from their hamper.
No, I never took them with me. I never took them.
Oh, you just stand there, smell them, and drop them back in the hamper?
Yeah, because if you rub it on your top lip, it'll stay with you for at least like a half hour.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm okay. Go ahead, but I'm of the opinion that this is just made up. No one's. If anybody's that fucking disgusting, I think I don't know. I'd asphyxiate them, allegedly.
Okay, so, well, let's take this a step further. Let's say it is made up, but let's say they got their idea from JD asking interns for their panties after they went to the bathroom, which was some leaked information we got from an inside source from the show that appears to be true. And oh my God, if I didn't hate that mumble mushmouth enough, now I've got to hate him for a whole nother reason, which is verging on criminality, because you're basically bullying interns who don't get paid. And if they want a life or a career in the entertainment business and the recording industry, then they have to kind of, do whatever to get ahead. And how bad is that? Not just as a woman, but as a human.
Yeah.
A human. What the fuck is going on? So my idea is, hey, let's expose JD, but we'll put it on King of All Blacks and make him the bad guy. But honestly, I think there's just so much derangement in this whole circle of staff that have been put through the ringer with all of the content they've tried to find and stir up and the porn they've had to watch just to come up with new fucking ideas for the show. And that's why they're on drugs. That's why they're doing alcohol. That's why they have mommy issues, or they're in the closet, or they just can't bring themselves to any kind of truth in life, or they're humongous. It took Jason like 6 weeks to lose 30 pounds on the latest what's Nutrisystem. Thank you. So obviously somebody at his weight would have lost a whole lot more in 6 weeks, more than 30 pounds. They would have probably lost like 40, 50.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm not gonna fat shame him. I'm just, that's what he's doing. So and the title of this next one is "I'm sorry about this one," and I sincerely am. But you need to hear this stuff.
Okay. And by the way, I will say that's a sounder theory. It makes more sense if you believe that they're normal people and they're just trying to go down this sicko angle as an angle. But I'm really curious to hear this one because it's been a month since you gave it to me and I listened to it.
Then hamper man would go to the hamper when someone wasn't looking. You go to the bathroom, you'd smell their panties, and then would you drive home quickly so you could beat off to this while the smell was still in your nose?
Well, first you gotta re-wet it to get the scent back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if it was sitting there for too long, the scent kind of went away. But if there's what do you call that in between? It's like it's not cum, it's like discharge.
Oh my fucking stomach.
Okay. Like I said, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm so sorry for this one. But what? He has to re-wet the panties to get the smell of the secretions. Are you using your tongue? Are you using a faucet? What, a toilet water at this point? I don't even feel. Fillmore, what is happening? I know things are crazy right now, but this just blows my fucking mind.
King of all alchemists.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. He's turning panties into disgust. Cold. Jesus Christ.
Something. It's some type of gel in there. It's like a gel. Robin, you should know. It's a secretion. It's a secretion.
You're doing fine.
So what you do? Yeah, you don't need Robin's help. So you would take the panties out of the hamper. You'd wet them in the sink to get the smell activated.
You don't wet them in the sink. No, don't listen. Don't put them nowhere near water.
Oh, these fucking vile shit bags. I mean, but the thing is, the King of All Blacks has to sign off on this. He agrees to be called, and he agrees. I'm going to tell this story. I would say no. I would just say you guys are fucking sick. That's it. What are they going to do? You'll never get on again. What do you mean? You'll continue to not pay me?
That's the price of their ego. No, this is the price they pay to be associated with the show, to have an ego stroke, to get that supply of heroin or time on the show.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care if he's hated. He's just there to please his godforsaken ogre that, oh my God, I don't even know how to explain half of the stuff. The clips prove it. So let's,
don't blame us.
It just gets better from here. I'm looking at the next title.
Misogynist on yeast infections. Okay.
You know what's really stinky, I would imagine? Like if a girl has a yeast infection. So
you get a real crusty pair of pants then.
Yeah, you probably think, and you probably are like, oh, this is hot. This is some kind of discharge. Meanwhile, it's yeast infecting your lips to revive the smell.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that. If it is, I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, we don't want to know about it either. Okay, so stop bringing it up.
Yeah.
By the way, that'll get you kicked out of Facebook if you start talking about yeast infections. So don't do it.
Right. As explained in the PSA. Number 23, Trans Holly meets Ben and Ray.
A conversation with him. You're lecturing me. You're not having a conversation.
What is your new name? She's not calling you.
My name is Holly, Mom. Listen to me. What did he say? Farrell, give me a minute. This is important. What is it?
And we introduced Holly, by the way, guys, on a previous episode. So if you're not sure, we'll just say it one more time. That's the fake name he's given his fake trans self, which I think will not be fake for much longer the way this is going.
He's becoming a woman. What? He's becoming a woman. It's unbelievable. He's becoming a... How can he do that? He's a boy.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. And the next one is called... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, just going to say mark your bingo cards, Ben and Ray impression. And anytime Howard does this gotta be Hollywood new persona of his, it's just, it's an eye roller. It's a head shaker. So hang in there, guys.
Yep. New bottom and titties.
Well, I'm going to have bottom surgery and I'm going to grow titties.
That was the clip.
Hold on. Don't you picture him having a vision board now with his new titties and his new bottom in his office up on those like gigantic Post-it note boards where he can pick out, he's got like 5 different titty tops and like 5 different vaginas, and he's going to go, I want that one. Like he's shopping. I want that. And I want that. And then he's got like another one with outfits to wear on top of them. I don't know. I think that house of his is just a house of horrors.
Yeah, it truly is now. That's not the one he grew up in. He claims to have grown up in. He has created his own house of horrors. This next one is called, number 25, Contract Welcher. And it's self-explanatory, I believe.
Your father, he.
Mom, Dad, I got to go. I'm not even supposed to be working today. It's President's Day, but the serious thinks I was trying to back out of my contract or something.
They have a sale.
They absolutely think you were trying to back out of your contract, and you left it up to them to confront you the same way someone doesn't offer to pay for a meal, waits to the end of the fucking dinner and goes, oh yeah, of course, sure. Yeah, I was going to throw in. No, you weren't. No, you were not going to do that fucking show.
Yeah, he tried to skate away. And now this year we have to listen to 113 shows, one more than the normal. Or if he's on a reduced schedule, which, we're yet to see. I'll believe it by the end of December when we have all the numbers. Because I don't believe a thing this guy says. I think he's full of shit all the fucking time. And nothing can be taken to task until you see it on paper. So I will be documenting. I've got a calendar. I've got guests. I've got notes. So, yeah, we're coming at you, Howie. Thanks.
Do you think he arranged for 79 shows and now it has to be 80? Just for us.
Sounds about right.
Number 26, Wig's mission statement.
I want to feel like a woman, Mom. I want to be with a man and he can enter me.
Oh, my God. Listen to me. Let me tell you, your father enters me. It's very overrated. You don't need it. With the sex ugly money. That's right. You don't need a man inside of you.
I'm burning for a man inside of me.
Listen to me.
There's no joke. This is him just saying what he wants. There's no parents. It's just him and Robin acquiescing like, okay, this is what the boss wants. This is the faggola he wants. He wants to be a woman. We got to go with it. I'll just cash my check every 2 weeks.
Yeah, this is something I've talked to Bob D about in some messages of giving him examples and clips that I pull. I often send them to him just so he can have an idea because, believe it or not, Bob got so fed up with the show, he needed to take a break from it.
Yeah.
Because it was too much for him to process. He could not go down these roads with us at the time. But he'll, catch up, and that's why we're doing what we're doing is we pick and choose stuff, and we'll gladly serve it up on a plate to him. So, Chicago Bob, here you go.
I can just imagine Chicago Bob like decompressing with Sharon Lois and Bram and Rafi and shit just to try to get Sesame Street, just to get some kind of wholesome, reverse like 180 degree exorcism of this crap. But imagine Raven, or actually more recently, but not in this particular breakdown, Mark Shabzovich did a good job getting some clips. Kayla got a clip, and people are starting to, and Jeremy Shepard I think got a clip or two, didn't he?
Different people, Mark especially has sent me stuff. Kayla has sent me stuff. Gordon Chupko has sent me stuff. And Jeremy is always feeding me information, whether he finds it on other sites and other Facebook groups.
Right.
But yeah, he's a great source of material too, whether they're clips or not. But yeah, I totally appreciate all the help I get from my group They are just godsends, and they're amazing, and we have such a fun time.
Yeah,
So
soldiers.
thank you, guys.
And the last one is called for this day is called "The Truth Is Out There."
Mother's so happy she became a girl. I mean, I couldn't even go to my parents and say I want to become. I couldn't even say, listen.
If
I
you
couldn't tell
wanted to become a woman, you wouldn't say anything, would you?
No, I would live my life as an unhappy man the rest of my life.
You
I
might
just
be
want-
coming to this conclusion in your 60s like Bruce Jenner.
Perfect. I don't even know how many more fucking times I can say
Thank
it.
you.
Raven, please, you have the floor.
This is Robin fighting back a little. We got more of her fighting back in March than we did in February. So you just got to listen for those little nuggets of gold. Yeah, he's telling the truth here. So the truth is out there. You just have to read between the lines a bit. And he'll say, I was just joking. That's just material for the radio, but it's not.
No.
It's got to be a deep, subversive, subconscious feeling that's going on with him. And so we pick and choose. Yeah, I clip the show. And these are things I think that need to be heard. And I put them out there because if you hear them enough, they become the truth. And he always put out, I'm a nice guy. I'm not a prick. All this other stuff. So why not put out there all his, subconscious, heterosexual, transsexual fantasies? Because if you put them out there enough, they become a truth. And this is the truth. Just as much as he puts out there that his hair is real. And he needs a haircut. Please give me a break.
That's one of my favorites too.
Right. No, my parents are still around. I'd have to wait till my 80s. My parents are
You're going to be an
purposely
80-year-old
transgender. My parents are purposely staying alive so I will not become a woman. Are you kidding? Say I want to be a woman. I couldn't say to my parents I had a bad day. If I had said that.
Do you guys want to parallel just this, not sexually related? Go back to when we did I just mentioned with Sam, actually, the Ellen rescinding, when we played the clips of him theoretically talking about, what if American Idol was my dream job? What if it was? And then later on in the same day, like 5 minutes later going, and it is my dream. Like, I do want to go do that. Well, let's say I want to go do that. And clearly he wanted to go do that. So there's where, if you know the rhythm, if you know the isms of Howard, you know that this is the truth. That's the only way I can explain it. You have to have heard the clips in a consequence.
I was just going to bring up probably the same thing. Like, where in the past, he always thought at home he was a good judge of talent. And he brought it up that, yeah, he could do this job. So he got Buckwald involved, and that's how he got into AGT. That is just a horrific gong show of talent, and if you can call it that. So, and then now he's done a whole rescinding on AGT, and I've got you the clips for that. So we'll get to it, guys.
And the next day, believe it or not, guys, is real short. We are in the 16th of February, and there's only 3 clips. Now, this long one, Marianne from Brooklyn blows up at Wig, is about Springsteen and his DWI, sorry, my mistake. And she got pissed off at Howard. Can you explain the context? Because I'm not going to play the full 3 minutes. It's a long clip.
No, it was Marianne from Brooklyn calling out Wiggy for being a liberal and giving Bruce Springsteen a pass. Because back in November, he had a DUI where he was 4-wheeling and he got pulled over after doing a shot with a fan. Yeah. But he had already been drinking, apparently. And his DUI, oh, man, I want to say it was like 0.08 or 0.04, 0.02. I can't remember.
It was 0.02. It was 0.02 when I read the thing.
They basically let him go. But the news never came out until after the Super Bowl, where he had a commercial for a car company. It was Jeep. Yep. And it was about living free or living your truth and protect, getting back to normal. Honestly, I can't remember all the details. We'll hear it at some point. But Marianne went off on Wiggy, and that never seems to happen. So this is why it seemed unusual, and I pulled it.
Okay.
Oh my God, Howard, Mr. Rule Non-Breaker, you of all people should know that Bruce Springsteen is wrong. This came out November 1st, and he still went ahead with the commercial? What's going on with the liberal bullshit, Howard, with this kind of bullshit in in the news November 1st, and he's
Wait a second. Am I being attacked now? I'm not. I haven't offered my opinion yet. Wait a second. I haven't offered my opinion yet. Why am I being
he's also getting attacked because he's trying to cover for Springsteen because he desperately wants to interview him. He's one of the other big whales.
And it's more of the MPD. It's like, why am I being attacked? Why is it my problem? What did I say?
Right.
The verbiage is just all I, me, I. Ugh.
Yeah.
Who can't stand this guy?
The fact.
You can't understand. He had a sip of booze. You and I would never get in a car, a motorcycle.
Of course not. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm asking, how is it? No, I'm not.
What difference does it
Yes,
make?
if he got a .02, how did they arrest him for being drunk? I don't understand the law. I'm trying to understand the law.
Did he have it? Maybe he had weed or some other.
I don't know. I
don't remember the exact story, but I did read up on it, and I do recall that if something like if you can still legally, it's illegal if it's .08 in that state or that county. I have no idea how.
Right. It is.
Yeah. Right. So was he legally was it a situation where he was seen drinking? You know how if it's in a brown bag, they can't arrest you because it could technically be coke.
Right, that would be the open container law. So there's that, and then there's the DUI, which is .08 of the blood alcohol limit. So if he had a .02, that doesn't warrant an arrest. But if you're seen drinking alcohol, that could be a reason too.
know what he had. I'm trying to get the facts, my dear.
People are calling up saying this. That a lot of people have gotten arrested with 0.2.
All right. Well, that's what we're learning. How dare you attack me? And how dare you say what's with the liberal? No, let me talk. How dare you say what's with the liberal bullshit? I'm asking questions. Did the man get the blood test on the spot? I want to know what happened. I don't know what.
Can't draw blood.
I don't know what I was.
Jesus, I don't know that I can put you guys through much more, Marianne from Brooklyn, but you're right. It is odd for her to say anything.
We got too much.
It's odd to hear her say anything against him ever.
Well, let's keep in mind that Bruce Springsteen's manager is also part of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Rolling Stone connection.
Yeah.
And the Dave Grohl and the Tom Morello. So Wiggy's all involved with that. You know how the Hall of Fame every year gets play. Now we found out this year Wiggy is a voter. Bowie's a voter. Hein's a voter. Now we know that Hein is a voter because of his connection of Jump the Shark and Rolling Stone. Yes. So there's some really bad incest going on here. And the fact that, no, they haven't had Bruce Springsteen on the show, but they talk about him nonstop. Yeah. And we know how, Gary is like uber in love with him. So there's something up.
And we know that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just bullshit, mainstream bullshit, because there's no reason the New York Dolls should not have been first in that fucking Hall of Fame once they were eligible. I mean, poor Syl Sylvain, God rest your soul, just passed away last this I think last year or just this year, and loved Syl. I got an autographed poster a couple of years before he passed away, and he released an autobiography that's really good. I recommend it. Number 2 is called Wigs Wood. And I'm not sure that's not a typo.
I know what you're talking about. A couple of years ago, I had something going on medically where I had to go on medication for a few months. And the first medication I took, I noticed, like, as I was taking it, I'd wake up in the morning. I always have a raging hard-on in the morning. Always. Always.
I miss that, man.
Yeah, I always have morning wood.
Can we ask Ralph if that's true?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden I started noticing I don't have morning wood.
Nothing?
Maybe something's up. Yeah, I didn't have any wood. Like in the morning, I always had wood. I called my doctor. I said, hey, this pill I'm taking. I said, excuse my language. I'm no doctor because I don't know how to the medical thing. I said, I don't have wood in the morning.
How many fucking times can he say would? It's just called a fucking pee hard on. I don't know
Right.
what I don't know what the hell he's going on about. 79 IQ. And okay, so yeah, just so you guys know, he sounds like he's a raging heterosexual. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. What medication? Oh, this is a good question. What would a medication be that he's taking to drop the wood?
Heart medication.
Really?
If you are on blood pressure medicine or blood thinners, also sometimes diabetics take medication that will result in this. This is a common side effect. Also, it's old age. The guy's 67.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. So any change to the delicate biosystem of this baby veal is gonna jack him up. He can't drink alcohol. He can't have caffeine. He can't have chocolate. He can't have like a million things because his system is so super sensitive. He had to stop fish. I don't even know what slop he's eating these days. If it's back to baked potatoes and turkey,
almonds.
Who knows? But he insists that he's on a super strict diet. Yes, the inevitable dangling almond, and it's just I don't know. It's hard to believe. Like I said, what is true, what isn't. So let's hear the rest of this.
Okay.
You know, he's a guy. He knew what I was doing. He goes, oh, yeah, one of the side effects is you might not have wood. I said, you're kidding me. As of today, I'm going off this
How dare you
thing.
give a medication to men like that?
Yeah, right. He goes, there's got to be some other medication that gives you wood, that allows your wood to come through. I don't care what else it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so in my opinion, it's not only is it not bang o'clock, it's not even dry hump 30, it's not even quartered to fucking twink, it's nothing. I mean, if you're that age, I think bang o'clock is just more fiction. At any rate, this is one thing I gotta thank Robin, Raven, Robin, fuck Robin, and Apple's gaslights Ronnie. Now, this is Apple's basically going in on Ronnie and Stephanie, if I'm not mistaken, but you have provided pictures that will go into the breakdown about the Lucky Charms.
That's right. All right. What is it, Apples? What do you want to know?
So I saw what Ronnie did for his queen, Stephanie, right? He had chocolates. He had the Steven Singer rose. But in the background, I do a little snooping because I like to see everybody's Instagram. There was a bunch of sugary cereals, Trix, Lucky Charms, and it's only because you recently talked about Beth enjoying those.
Okay. Hold on. There's only 10 seconds left.
Are those Ronnie's? Are those Stephanie's?
Yep.
And I say this with peace and love because as soon as you put Ronnie on, he's going to blow me up.
Well, I know that Ronnie eats super healthy. I know that.
Okay, so do you believe, Raven, that Stephanie is trolling Beefus?
112%, because not just in that Valentine's Day picture did she include a background picture of a box of Lucky Charms. About 2 weeks, right immediately after Wiggo caught Beef eating Lucky Charms, he found, her eating them and shamed her. Then Stephanie put on her Instagram stories a picture of a Lucky Charm cake and said, yep, I need this at my next birthday. So, hello, she was doing this weeks before Valentine's Day. This was like a month before. So, honestly, I think she's just hopping on the train, trying to be like a team player. But she doesn't, or maybe she does or doesn't realize that it's going to get her brought up. Maybe she likes it. But it also gives more content for the show. So she's being a good girl. She's doing her part. It's harmless stuff, really.
Yeah.
Unless you're Beef getting beaten for eating Lucky Charms at home. I don't know. Yeah, Stephanie's trolling. Maybe not trolling, but just supporting the show with her version of her favorite Lucky Charms cake and cereal in the background with a Steven Singer rose. And we can always ask Robin how she feels about those.
Absolutely. So now, believe it or not, guys, we are in February 17th, and the first clip, number 1, is called Jazz's New Hole.
No. I'm irritated. I'm so stupid. I stayed up way too late watching I Am Jazz. The 17-year-old
Was it a new
transgender.
episode?
I have a bunch of episodes. I haven't caught up completely. Jazz got her new vagina, but the vagina's a fucking mess. I don't even know if she got she's got Dr.
far be it from me to point out the obvious, but isn't every vagina a mess to him?
Yeah.
She's out of Mount Sinai, so they got to be good. So,
well, every surgery isn't perfect, Howard.
No.
She
I
was
told
going
you.
in with problems, right?
Oh, yeah. She was the toughest case they'd ever seen. And as soon as they gave her the new vagina, as soon as they took out her micro.
So I know they say all PR is good PR, but poor Jazz, she's a 20-year-old woman. She's done 55 episodes of her show. And Wiggy is picking apart like so many of these things. And as she goes through this process, I'm fine with her going through it. I just don't need Wiggy living vicariously through her of all of her thoughts and like how her parents are too hands-on and how he's jealous of that and how her boyfriend and her are trying to find time together. I don't need to know about where they're getting the skin for the vagina. Just let her have her vagina. Leave it fucking alone. So that's my take.
Or better yet, don't mention anything. just don't even talk about Jazz, period.
Phallus and put in the new vagina. By the way, listen to this. They got 7 inches. The hole they dig, depth they call it. She got a 7-inch deep vagina.
Wow.
Which I think is deeper than your vagina,
Okay,
Robin.
name a straight man who gives a flying fuck about any transgender, anybody, including a family member or a friend who's become transgender that decides to like go into detail about, oh my God, she's got a crevice the size of fucking Manhattan. You could put a mile of dick in it. No one cares this much about it unless it's something you want yourself. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel. I'm tunnel vision. You call me, you criticize me. Go ahead, guys. I'll take it all. But I firmly believe now this is not just for the sake of shocking the audience or turning the trying to get some some different segment of the audience. I think because this is pandering. I think this is just what he wants. Raven?
This show is for him. And we've said it a million times lately, just in the past year, that this show is what he wants. It's not for anybody out there. Mm-hmm. And he could give 2 shits what anybody thinks about this. That's why he turns off comments. That's why he doesn't do Twitter. That's why you have to be somebody who's been on the show to even comment on half of the stuff on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not clear on which one it is, but let's just say this is wearing on my last nerve because nobody wants to hear this. This is just where is the stuff we want? Like, where is some current topics? Where are some 2 A-list guests and a B-list guest? We're not getting that.
No.
We're lucky if we get an A-list guest every couple of weeks.
Yeah, and pre-recorded.
We get a lot of B-list. We get a lot of repeat guests.
Yep.
But just so sad.
Wouldn't you rather hear the upteenth David Spade interview? Wouldn't you rather hear David Spade daily than this?
Absolutely. I'll take David Spade over Jazz any day.
Yeah. So number 2, grafting ass
And it's not
skin.
because of Jazz being a transsexual. It's just I don't want to hear Wiggy's. What?
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Please continue.
I just don't want to hear Wiggy's opinions on transsexual pre-op or post-surgery. It's not in my wheelhouse. It's not something that makes me laugh. I don't get any entertainment out of it. I cringe most of the time because he's 67 and she's 20. He's 47 years older than her. Mm-hmm. He could be like her grandfather her great grandfather. It's just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
There's so many better things in the world to talk about. Like I've said before, I mean, I have like a wish list of things that could be talked about, but we won't get them.
No, we won't. Sorry.
So they had to take pieces of her stomach. Now they're dragging her back into the hospital. They're grafting her ass skin onto her vagina because the vagina is separating. So they're doing skin grafts to make it more presentable. It's very.
So this reminds me of when Sal used to say to Richard, "Your ass is my vagina." Now it really is in this case.
Raw and very open, so they're going to have to do a third operation. That's what I'm up to. But in the middle of all this, Jazz went and got a boyfriend.
Well, they're not having sex, though, are they? I mean, not vaginal sex.
No, they're kissing. That's it.
Okay.
Because Jazz has never
How
kissed
old
a
is
boy
Jazz?
before.
I mean, Jazz. Again.
Jazz is 17.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I got this right. The Bachelor, Dancing with the Stars, I Am Jazz. Let's see, a gay bisexual stylist. Let's see, scarves. Do we really want to go through the list? Go ahead.
The 600-pound sisters.
Yeah.
The 1,000-pound sisters in My
Sisters.
600-pound life.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and she had never kissed a boy before, so this guy is he's her boyfriend now, and they're making out, and he's not uptight. He's like, you know what? I don't care that she's transgender. I don't.
Well, I think
The next, so there you go. There's our Jazz update for all of you who are like dying to hear it. Go ahead.
We forgot one thing. Olivia Jade. You can throw into that whole pile of trash of garbage that he listens to.
Lana Wachowski.
Man, God help us all.
Number 3, Ronnie Grey Rock's apples. So this is in response to the previous day.
And God bless you and stay safe.
Wow, thanks,
What-
Mitch.
what-
Boy,
what's
that makes me feel old. I'll tell you that. Hey,
Yeah.
Apples, boy, you took boy, that thing with Ronnie yesterday. That was
Oh.
something, huh? Jesus.
Wow. Does Ronnie hate me more or less than King of All Blacks?
I think Ronnie hates King of All Blacks the most, but you're right up there.
And again, I'm going to try with peace and love.
And God, if Apples doesn't sound like he just sounds like someone else that's been on the show before. I'm trying to place it. One day I'll get to it, guys. Just bear with me on that one.
Did I do something to Ronnie in the past? Did I say something that pissed him off? Does he just think I'm a wise ass?
love.
I can't answer for Ronnie, but I do know that you bringing up Stephanie's Lucky Charms in the picture really set him off. Ronnie, do you hate Apples more than King of All Blacks, or do you hate King of All Blacks the most?
Listen, dude, I love King of All Blacks compared to this guy because this guy's just such a friggin' moron.
And we have to have a little Ronnie in there every now and then, even though he's retiring, quote unquote.
Because he called up with an agenda. He knew what he was calling for. And, you know, I don't even want to give him the airtime. So you talk to him, have a lovely day with him. I won't even give him the fucking satisfaction of answering his fucking questions.
Wow.
So I'm sure that Stephanie is on our side. She's probably on our site. So go, Stephanie, we speak your name too. And we're on Team Ronnie. Now, this next clip made me laugh just by reading it. And it's simply Alfredo.
So the diner that you own, in other words, the question I have is, how can you have a menu with like pork chops and fettuccine Alfredo? Because, okay, I get the fettuccine and noodles.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like other people say. Like dumb. I want respect. Oh, God. So Zeppelin becomes Zeppelin. Alfredo becomes Alfredo. So it seems like he's adding syllables to things.
This guy, you know, he drops articles, he adds vowels. He's got his own grammar section in the dictionary.
Was there a grammar tutor at Boston University? Let's see if number 5. Okay, number 5, I changed the title slightly because Raven did clip a lot of these. All these, and with a few exceptions later on. But she titled most of them. And this one I changed a little. Hein is the new Kenny Rogers. And you guys will get it when you hear it.
Nice.
There.
You know, all the years I know you, John, I the guys give me information. They tell me that you're a big gambler. I didn't know this about it. What, JD, what are you laughing about over there?
I know about his gambling prowesses, or
what do you know about
his prowess?
I just know he loves to gamble. If he's in Vegas or Atlantic City, he's going to the craps table, or
You always seem so sensible to me. I'm shocked by your gambling.
It's not a shock. How many wrap-up shows did I hear Artie talk about? Oh, I put John Hines 50 on the Steelers and this and that, whatever. It's not new. It's not new at all. So he's gambles. He makes no bones about it. Yeah, Raven.
He's got another form of degeneracy. Some people do drugs. Some people do food. Hein does food and gambling.
Yep.
Other people have alcohol. Some have weed. It's just take your pick. It's like spin the wheel of degeneracy on the show. Panty sniffer JD. I mean, they all have their quirks. So that was just something I picked to pull to prove.
Let's see. Hold on for a minute. There's more.
Yes, about you.
I enjoy gambling. I'm very happy that I live in a state that it doesn't have legal sports gambling, let alone.
Oh, you'd be in trouble if it did, huh?
Yeah, I definitely would. I have an itch. But when I was younger, it was bad. Now I've managed it pretty well. But JD, when he got caught up in doing all.
Okay, so let's cut off a little bit, but I think there was enough there to get the point across. So number 6, this one, another one that Raven spelled TROP space I space CANNA. And I'm beginning to think, guys, once again, 79 is way too high. So you judge for yourself.
Thought you listen to this. I'll give you some facts about John's gambling.
All right.
John was once. This is amazing. This is more shocking than the fact that you got all those blowjobs in college. John was once kicked out of the Tropicana in Vegas after being accused of
sabotage. Tropicana. He's like Sarah Michelle Gellar. Oh man, that's
ridiculous.
Funny. Okay, so there's that one, and the last one is called Can't Call Robin, or Don't Call. I think Can't Call Robin. Yeah, Can't Call Robin.
It was
JD is a
Don't
man
Call
child.
Robin.
Oh, okay, my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Money and call Robin. She's good with investing. Put it in like one of these mutual funds, or right, Robin? What could he put it
Anything
in?
would be better than what he's doing with it.
I need Robin to give me her. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm not giving him my number, but
Look, Howard, like me, JD has that itch. He's got that gambling itch.
I do.
He needs to scratch it, and this.
Yeah, and if during a pandemic, people just get more and more into their vices, more or less. I mean, that's you would expect that. It's unfortunately a sad part of reality, but you have to sublimate in other ways. You have to figure out things that you wouldn't normally do to make yourself more sane in a very insane time. So and it doesn't surprise me that these degenerates are just going more into degeneracy as it progresses.
This is the way
well,
he's
that's
been doing
silly.
You get scratch off tickets.
We all do a lot of silly things, Robin. I don't know what to tell you.
Fuck, I can't stand his voice, JD, just listening to him. Let's see if I got this right. Okay, this is now in the 22nd of February, so we're making some headway, guys.
Yes.
The first, this is another one made me laugh. Raven, she wrote down, Jazz has deep pockets.
Has a boyfriend and she's dying to use a vagina that they just built for her, and she's 7 inches deep. And she's dating a kid from Philadelphia, and she wants to try it out. I think that's why she wants to move out of the house. She wants to have sleepovers with the boyfriend.
Otherwise, the mother will be right there when she's trying to have sex.
Yeah, it's hard.
Number 2, Wig wants her box broken in like a baseball glove.
But I'm up to the part where Jazz has gotten her vaginal surgery, and she just wants to break in that new vagina like a baseball mitt. I mean, she wants to get that thing lubed up and going. And
does she have to, like, I mean, has she examined all the accoutrement, the things she has to use? Is she stretching her vagina? What is she doing?
She's got like a big, like Ronnie's dildo. She's got one of those, and she has.
I love Robin feeding him, just like pushing him more into it. Like, thank you, Robin. I think she might be a covert QFer as well.
To stick it in every night and get the thing opened up, and I'm fascinated by it. Then they got to do one more operation, get her labias looking real, keeping it real. Get those labias and clitoral hood.
Labiaplasty.
well, not. She's got to get like something that looks a little more presentable. Because,
labiaplasty, that's like plastic surgery.
Okay. Yep.
It took him 67 years to finally be interested in vagina, only because it's a fake vagina on a transsexual. Not because it was ever on a woman, only because it's on a 20-year-old woman or a 17-year-old girl. And now he wants to know how you break it in. But he had Siobhan.
Yeah.
He had his chance with her.
He did.
No, that didn't work out because they were too busy making fun of her.
Yeah.
They didn't care to know back then, but now it's getting serious.
Right.
So here we go.
And I got to find that clip. Sam posted it ages ago, but it was him on the old E! Show, I think, and he was shaving a vagina, and he complained about the smell, and he couldn't get near it. Oh my God, number 3. Okay, we'll play the rest of that clip just because I'm sure there's some of you who are just like checking off Jazz on your bingo cards for every day. So here we go.
Labia to build them.
Well, she doesn't even really have labia yet. Like, I don't know what she has down there. They don't show you that. I wish they would, but I don't know. And then she's going to have, I guess, like a ribbon cutting ceremony and announce she's open for business. But
and then
okay. So the next clip is called, because of course we're now going into the point where we've acknowledged that Rush Limbaugh has passed away, and this clip is called Rush, aka Me.
According to my agent, I got like 10 billion phone calls. As soon as Rush Limbaugh died, all of the newspapers wanted a quote from me, and I was just like, why do you want to quote from me? Because I talk on the radio and he talks on the radio. I mean, what would be so fascinating about hearing from me? But newspapers all had the same idea. Let's get in touch with Howard and find out what he thinks about the death of Rush Limbaugh. And I think that I would go on, and
the reason he would be happy if one person called him. First, I don't think it was billions. I'd say it was like a couple. I'd say it was a few, perhaps, because he was a contemporary of Rush. Basically, they were not too dissimilar in age. Yep.
Right, they had that commonality where they worked at the same station, but there's been a whole onslaught of broadcasters passing away recently. Mm-hmm. Whether it's Larry King, Soupy Sales,
Rush,
obviously Rush, and
Jay Thomas,
the werewolf.
Wolfman.
Wolfman Jack. Thank you. Yep. So sorry.
Yep.
I got some COVID brain left over from December.
Yep.
And I think maybe they're like, well, we better get a quote from this guy before he kicks the bucket, because
he really is.
They seem to have a time, like sand is ticking through the hourglass for these guys. Yes. So let's get him.
Right. And there's that infamous WNBC picture of Wolfman Jack and Imus and Wiggy and Soupy, and that he's the last he's the last Marfan standing.
Yep.
And so he really is like Jerry Lee Lewis from the $1 Million Quartet. He's the last one. Okay. So and Rush, the thing is, and a lot of people don't remember this, Rush released a very successful book with using the same publisher and same editor, I believe. Judith Regan did Rush's book before Private Parts, and it was very successful. So Wig decided, like, if Rush can do it, I can do it, whatever, and decided he had to go for it. But I bet you $9 million that they pushed him for a book, not the other way around. Because he would be afraid, like, oh my God, what if it's not a success? What am I going to write about? I can't write. I'm a 79, all this shit. So we'll play the rest of this clip, and then we'll go into more Rush stuff.
Badmouth the guy. you know, I am one of those people that feels a little weird, like coming on here and saying bad shit about the dude. Like, you know, hey, it's good he's dead or something like that. But
well, whenever you wanted to comment on him in life, you did. It wasn't like you've been sitting here pent up.
He couldn't be happier. He just doesn't want to say it now because he knows he's going to get quoted for saying something awful, and he'll get bad press for it. Before he wouldn't have.
Right?
Yep.
He always has to save everything for the show. So
yeah,
he won't give up anything before he gets to the microphone.
That's right, if he ever does. And the next one, I was trending on Twitter.
I mean, here's the deal. I'll give you, since everyone, I was actually trending on Twitter because people were comparing Rush Limbaugh and Howard Stern. And in my mind, I never saw the comparison other than we both talk on the radio. It's like comparing.
So the next one, number 5, say some nice things about Rush.
Let's see. I'll give you a couple of things. You want to hear Rush's wife got on the air and made the announcement that he was dead. You want to hear that?
Oh, yeah, sure. I missed that.
This was his 4th wife.
Yeah, he couldn't keep a wife either.
No, well.
Wiggy's strangely silent on that.
From what I understand, and again in the Times, they said he was a pudgy high schooler with no friends.
Well,
who didn't get laid in high school.
That.
Yeah, who didn't get laid in high school.
That I could have figured out on my own.
Yeah.
You didn't have to say it.
Go ahead.
I would like to suggest that when Wiggy does die, that we each do a eulogy every day for 30 days on some of the awful things that he said and did during his whatever number of years on the air for his career. And I would like to start off with like day 1 through 5.
Yeah.
I'm begging you, please, let's do this.
Well, why not? I mean, Christ's sake, when Dana Plato turned, when they found her dead, they were laughing about it on the air. They were literally laughing about, you know, the experience she had. And you know that there was some kind of concerted effort behind the scenes to, okay, guys, when we get on the air, we're going to treat it like it's no big deal because, you know, we're culpable. We may be culpable in this. And Gary was vile during that post Dana Plato thing. If you ever listen to the clip, he is such a shitbag. But anyway, I think that's a great idea. Number 6, King of all bad eulogy strikes again.
How was it? Fuck,
I would love to know.
Big blubbery body of his.
When Rush got on top of you, what was that like?
What attracted you?
Yeah, what was your favorite body part?
Yeah, what about when Robin gets on top of you? You know, what's left of your pancreas? Jesus Christ Almighty. Yeah. The next play.
Karma's a bitch, and we're going to fucking get him with so much karma when he goes.
Right. And I guess
we've got youth on our side. Fillmore.
Exactly. We're going to be awful people, and we'll do the same. Number 7, let's play the what if game. Oh, wish God, I love this clip.
Say that about it.
Let me say something right now. If I get cancer, I'm out of here. I am not spending like last couple of fucking days with you guys, meaning the audience.
Who you spending it with?
I'm going to sit in my room and fucking cry and wait for death to take me. That's what I'm going to do, okay?
That's a
I'm
ridiculous
not gonna sit here.
thing to do.
Yep.
He's going to spend it with Ralph, and he's going to give Ralph every one of his last requests to be followed out.
Yeah.
And he's going to have Buckwald included in like kind of like a will situation, like a last testament.
Yep.
Where if Ralph does and says all these things and posts whatever, then he will get paid. It's simple as that. Beef too.
Yep.
They will both have like a to-do list of things once he passes away, and they will not receive their monies until those things are done. And then they will have to sign like an NDA in perpetuity saying they can never badmouth him or write a book or give an interview or do anything that would do anything other than praise him.
I could just imagine Ralph.
Yeah.
Sorry, I could just imagine Ralph at the reading of the will, just like Jack Tripper when they get to Janet's name and now finally to Ralph Sorella. This is it. He'll be wearing like a Hawaiian shirt like Jimmy Buffett. He'll have a pina colada in his hand. So the next one, number 8, happy birthday, Drew, you old bat. I guess Drew Barrymore came in and she kissed his ass a little bit. And she's been in more than a few times. And Drew, she used to be my childhood crush because I'm only about 2 months younger than Drew. And when I was a kid, even though I don't care for blondes necessarily, I prefer reds, gingers, and brunettes. But Drew Barrymore was so cute back in the day, and I think she aged fine. I mean, she's my age, but I don't, I think she's wonderful. I love her so much, even in as a 46-year-old. Go ahead.
So as a blonde myself, I'm gonna not hold that against you, but I will say this: Drew looks good. She looks age appropriate. She's a mom. She was a crush of mine back in the day. For hell, like she was just a fun girl who was great in movies and has such talent. So
yes,
now she's putting it into a talk show.
Yep.
She had to kiss Wiggy's butt. She danced around the whole mom issue pretty well. She never brought up anything he said. All she said was, I've mended fences with my mother. We have a good relationship. It's not super close, but it's close enough. And she's involved somewhat with the kids. Okay, great. Let's move along.
Yeah.
But we got, wig therapist who's got to ask all the other questions. And of course, he's all about, right off the bat, fame, plastic surgery, and just the Hollywood circles. So let's hear what we clipped.
Yeah, and I think just real quick before we go into it, I have to give Drew credit. She did sound very mature, considering when I was growing up and when she was growing up, and growing up in the public. She she was great for the newspapers. She was really good copy all the time, doing all kinds of nutty things. She flashing Letterman. Posing nude for Playboy, doing all these, like she reinvented her career as kind of a sex pot, but then also as a nutso kind of, like a different kind of Angelina Jolie before Angelina came into her own. And she's now gone into more, I think, producing and even directing, which I think is brilliant because a lot of those actors aren't smart enough to realize you can have a much longer career and in some ways less stressful by being behind the camera instead of in front of it. And so you don't have to depend on your looks, your plastic surgery. You don't have to constantly be worrying about, like, who am I losing a role to? Am I having to play the mom and all this shit? And growing old gracefully, she doesn't even have to worry about it. She can just green light a production and go for it. So I give her total credit for that. Happy birthday, Drew, you old bat.
You look beautiful. You're 46 years old. As far as I know. How do you feel about that? Do you feel good about this, or do you feel like in Hollywood, because you've been around a long time and you got famous at like 6 years old with E.T., do you feel like, oh God, everything in Hollywood is youth and now I'm 46? Does that feel like old to you? No?
Nope. I saw everybody be miserable around me and I thought, I will never choose.
I started to cut that off. It's 30 seconds. But if you guys, just as an aside, if you want to see the kind of charm you can have even as a child actor that may be schooled or studied, but look at her, 7 years old, going on the Johnny Carson show. There's about a 20-minute clip, and she just belongs there. And it's so charming, and the rapport they have is amazing and funny. And you could tell she was, whether she had a stage mom or not, she definitely had talent. There's no question. And I wasn't an E.T. fan at the time, and I didn't give a fuck about Firestarter and any of that shit. But she absolutely had, where are the other kids from E.T.? Where did they turn up? Nowhere. Next one, Drew teaching Commander Data how to emote.
I have so much more empathy now to being 46 and a mother of 2 girls. It's hard. And I raised my girls so much more traditionally and quietly and very protectively. And it's such an antithesis to my upbringing. Sometimes in spite of, sometimes just because that's who I naturally grew into. through all the circumstances.
And by the way, the reason why I cut that off, she has stories of being 9 years old and being taken into Studio 54 with Apollonia from the Purple Rain movie, because she goes, she's with me, and she's going in 9 years old and maybe even doing coke in these fucking places. She had the most fucked up childhood. I would love to inject her with truth serum and ask her about the Coreys, ask her about, Spielberg, all this shit that supposedly is in the underbelly of, I believe it, the underbelly of Hollywood. I would love to get that interview from her. I don't know if we'll ever get it. Anyway, it's
For
sad.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel goodness towards my mom. I feel empathy. I feel understanding. I feel really clear on a lot of things that are just non-starters for me in the parenting department.
So the next one continues that frame, because if those of you who are too young to remember or weren't fans or didn't listen to the clips, Jade Barrymore, her mom, was a regular. She was a constant on the show, and she appears in, I think, private parts of the book, posing naked with him pretty much. And she was a kind of regular early days of the show. Not early days, but I mean, earlier, like in the 90s especially, he would have her in. And
late 80s, 90s,
yeah.
90s.
Yeah, early 90s, that kind of thing. And so she might be also in, maybe it's Miss America, her picture's in, but I'll check that out later.
Been such an amazing thing, because when you used to joke around, even with my mom on the air, and be like, Drew, call, I'd be like, oh my God, you're scratching at my deepest wound.
I know. I feel bad about that, but I do.
No, he doesn't.
I have to say,
Nope.
when I read the foreword of like your book,
He's the same the reason he had Jade in was the same reason he had fucking Frank Stallone in, the same reason he had Madonna's brother in. If he couldn't get Madonna, I'll take her fucking cousin. If he couldn't get Jennifer Lopez, I'll get Linda Lopez if she'll come in. He was just scratching the door of Hollywood and want any fucking way to get in. No worries.
God bless Drew for having such grace to handle this.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just, she even said, like, he was scratching at the surface of her soul when he would have her mom on. And that really hurt her. But look where she is, 15, 20, 25 years later.
Yep.
Back on the show, kissing his ass, and totally at peace with life. Like, she does not hold grudges. She is the opposite of Wiggy. She is a great gal. And I would love to hang out with her. I could hang out in sweatpants or yoga pants with her and just, chew the fat, do whatever. But like, Wiggy, no way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I could hang out with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
These other people he has on the show are much more human and have such great qualities to them. So, and a lot of it shines through in the interviews. Kevin Hart, not so much. But Drew Barrymore, for sure. Love her. Yeah. Great girl.
Also, I recommend, guys, Santa Clara Diet. I think it was actually a pretty good show. I just don't know if it had the numbers. The next one is called Drew Invites Herself Over for Dinner.
A little help with that.
Well, I would give anything to be in on one of these fun dinners that you and Jimmy and Nan have. I always listen to them
I'm going to have you over when this dreaded... When this pandemic's over, you'll come over with Jimmy and his beautiful wife, Nancy.
And I believe Drew became friends with Jimmy since the days of SNL, actually. One of the more famous SNL sketches is the Professor or the Lovers sketch in the hot tub, and Jimmy Fallon just can't keep a straight... Nobody can keep a straight face. It's actually pretty funny. So I think she's been friends with Jimmy ever since then, and still friends with him and the wife now that he's married.
The love of my life.
You'll see me staring at them. They stare at me, and then they go home. And you will be part of that. You're gonna be greatly disillusioned. You'll see what goes on.
I would love to be at that fucking dinner.
Same.
Like, who invited the cadaver? Number 12, creepy old fucks. And sorry, Tom Skerritt, I have great respect for you, Viper. But you're going to be included in this clip.
Did Poison Ivy, which, by the way, were you sexy in Poison Ivy?
Oh,
too sexy.
Thank you.
Good Lord.
You know what was hilarious?
Yeah.
Tom Skerritt did not want to make out with me. Kept talking about his wife and family. I was like, oh fuck, man,
Because you were too hot.
Yeah, she was smoking hot back then. I will totally. I went totally against the grain, and I was like head over heels for her after that movie.
Because you were
Get
too
the
hot.
fucking fantasy. I thought you were hot and Top Gun. Let's do this.
How old were you in that movie?
16.
Oh.
16, 17.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
He was mortified. He's a good man. I was like, you read the script?
Oh my!
You ready to accept the contract? Yeah, go ahead.
I just love her for that.
Yeah. Yeah, she sounds like she has a sense of humor out of it all. I did know a guy who met her when he was in LA. This was, I wouldn't call him a friend, but he did say he saw her treat people like shit. But this would have been during the Mad Love days, like a long, long time ago, when she was just out of control and dating the guy from Hole and all that stuff. I'm like, it's like Biebs. You give people some rope and see if they'll hang themselves or not. And eventually they might make good and they might change their ways and stuff like that. Eventually you're going to see Miley Cyrus do like a Diana Krall type jazz album. She stopped sticking her tongue out and stop, parading around the nude.
Yeah.
You grew up. Number 13, dinner protocols.
By 8 o'clock. Real quick.
When someone says dinner at 8, I'm like, this isn't fucking Ibiza.
No.
Are you kidding me? Dinner at 8?
My house, everyone in at 6. Anyone's late, I lock the door. That's it.
Howard, I am with you. It's the wake up early, the get the exercise, the thing you need to set up your day. It is home early, bed early. No, I
Eat up, leave. That's it. That's it. Well, we're going to have a good time then.
I hope you're not
Oh my fucking Lord, Jesus Christ. I would be drinking, I'd be double fisting whiskey at that point.
Absolutely. What are Me Too vodkas right off the bat when I walk in the room?
I think so.
In and out fast. It's going to be great.
I hate multiple courses. I just when people drinking their
No.
coffee, I want to kill them.
I give you hors d'oeuvres. You want to know what happens in my house? You sit down, there's hors d'oeuvres. You know how long hors d'oeuvres last? 10 minutes, tops.
Great, perfect.
Eat up fast, and then I bring in, we eat buffet style, bing, bam, boom, dinner, little dessert. I'm tired. Good night, everybody. And that's
I have this image of SpaghettiOs on the Stern dinner table in Lucky Charms. Alfredo. Oh my fucking Lord.
That's it. Goodbye.
If it starts to get late, the food is thrown.
Yeah.
Heaven. Let's early bird special.
Why not have like the Willy Wonka everlasting gobstopper, or like what's the thing where it has like a whole meal in it and you just eat that thing and you get like your appetizer, your dinner, your dessert, and then like boom, you're done. So I picture Wiggy serving something like that where it's like an all-in-one inclusive, just one like little pill and you have that and that's it. That's your Willy Wonka dinner.
Well, it's never going to be like, there's this Middle Eastern dish. I can't remember the name, but it's basically something like camel. And inside the camel has been like a sheep has been placed. And inside the sheep has been placed a chicken. And they just like,
that's
basically.
Worse than turducken.
Well, yeah, but it's at least, sheep is closer to lamb than, that, but it's never going to be something like that massive, jazz type, like the Queen, the release party for Queen's jazz album where they had dwarves walking around with serving trays on their heads. So, yeah, I mean, like, and just anyway, it's just, it can only imagine it'd be like a very subdued kiddie party at McDonald's at Wiggs where, everything's very simple. And even though the stuff looks elegant in the place, they just don't know what they're doing.
Sad.
Number 14, Rip. Jesus Christ, that's me. That's my retardation. R.I.P. Larry King. Let's count your marbles.
Wanting her to have some money.
You know what shocked me? I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
That his entire fortune was $2 million. Now,
That's not possible, Howard.
I mean, the guy was pretty famous. He was on CNN, but he had 8 marriages, so maybe that's why he was only worth $2 million.
Didn't
Everybody
he
cleaned him
own
out.
homes and
I don't know.
I don't understand. Or maybe he had a reverse mortgage. I don't know.
Well, it's pretty easy. Ed McMahon went the same way. He was almost broke when he died, and Ed McMahon was married multiple times, so they lost so much money in the divorces that makes perfect sense. And it's not like Larry King was on CNN anymore. He was on Aura TV, I think, and he still put on a great show, but he wasn't making 1990s money anymore. And Ed McMahon certainly had the same problem because of just alimony and kids and kids and kids.
Right, and Wig's just gonna stomp on anyone's grave that he can while he has the time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, all right, $2 million is nothing to sneeze at. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
No, but
Larry
he had
King,
how many kids too? He left it to all the kids.
And this is a little Stones reference. I decided to write it this way. Wig still got the blues.
I can't believe Mick Jagger's never been on a show. I had this fear the other day. I'll get back to this other point, but I have this fear the other day that Mick Jagger is going to die before I get a chance. We're running out of time. The guy's like 80, isn't he?
He's got to be up there.
Yeah. Just come on, Mick. Let's talk. Come on. Got to be great.
How hard could it be, Mick?
It's like Raging Bull. Come on, honey. Let's be friends.
Oh.
Poor
Bad
Wiggy.
reference.
Poor Wiggy. Go ahead. Wah.
Attention, Mick Jagger. Attention, Mick Jagger. Do not do the Stern Show, whatever you do. Send Charlie twats.
Absolutely.
No, get out of bed. Maybe at 80 it is hard. I know at my age.
It's pretty hard now, right?
Mick is 77. I know right now I don't want to be interviewed. I don't want to be bothered. I do this radio show under protest.
Fuck's sake.
I really
Fuck
do.
you.
It's enough.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that gets a big fuck you from all around. Jesus Christ. Gym class tall tales. That's number 16.
When the gym teacher would go, all right, whoever comes in last, running an extra lap. And so we'd all go out and run. And of course, you know who came in last, this big fat
That's right.
obese
He
kid.
saved everybody else. He was always going to be last.
Exactly. Like picture like a guy like James Corden, except 10 times the size.
Picture your co-host, who's usually top at about 300, and 300, and she can't get out of the booth.
Oh, poor James Corden. Why do you got to throw him under the bus? He's not as big as Robin. Like,
No.
there's so many other examples out there. Don't throw James Corden under the bus.
Yeah.
But he's got to rewrite history, and he's got to make it like, I was always, I could have been the hero. I wish I was the hero. Now I realize I could have done better. And now I feel bad for people that didn't even exist.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
believe any of this. I'm calling false across the board on this whole story. But I clipped it because this is the way he wants to present himself nowadays. So this is what we've got.
Well, having been the tubby kid in a gym class, I can believe him because there usually is one or two. Nowadays, there might be actually about 15 in a class, but that goes without saying. I think one of these things is there's a guy that's doing radio now that was Howard's high school friend that I'm going to try to get in touch with. So when we do the Colford book, we have and we're going to try to intersplice this interview with this guy, hopefully, and ask him about life with Howard in high school. What was he like? What was he really like? And be honest, be as honest as you can. And he has actually talked about it in the press in the past few years or so. I won't say his name, but he's been willing to talk about it. So maybe it's something for you guys would really enjoy, because I would love some more confirmation of him in high school from people that actually knew him at the time. So
Definitely save this clip, and I'm all in for the Colford book because I read that like 2 years ago. I got it highlighted. I'm ready to go for that shit. So
yeah,
let's pull the curtain down even more.
Yep, that's going to be a ongoing spring-summer project, guys.
Well, maybe Jason.
No, maybe like the 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Oh, geez.
No, like maybe like Jason. Yeah, it was like that. built like he was upside down or something. And but I remember thinking how sweet he seemed, and I'd see him running, and he'd be so far behind, and the guy would be sweating profusely, and it was just probably his worst nightmare because not only was he getting humiliated, but like, and then he by himself while everybody else went back up to the locker room.
By the way, this part I don't believe, the whole sympathy for the fat kid bullshit, because he just fucking hates fat people, and but I do believe that, but everybody that's been in gym class does always think, thank God I'm not the last person. Whenever you run a race or whatever, you don't ever want to be that person unless it was some kind of injury that happened. You never want to turn up being the worst person, the last person picked for dodgeball, that kind of shit. I get that. That's pretty universal. But anyway, I digress.
This guy ran an extra mile, and you could just tell, and instead of like making exercise like a positive thing for this guy, just if me, the guy who I am now, if I could go back in time, the one thing I'd change, I'd run behind him. I would run behind that guy.
Why? Because you like to.
Because I could have done the extra mile, no problem. And
you could have done that extra mile, no problem. You said you were useless in gym class. You said you were a fucking tall, like geeky dork, couldn't play basketball. I don't buy that for a fucking minute. There's no sympathy. Fuck off. Robin decides that she wants to talk about a dream she had. So this is the clip, guys.
The
You're
sequel,
making
was
a
it good?
sequel. We never, it was in the beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
So you were, I guess the script had been done. And now casting had started, and you cast another actress to play Robin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. All right. Let's move on.
What was the impetus there? Sorry, yeah. Raven. The impetus there was basically she was dreaming about a movie that they were doing of their show. I'm not quite sure about. I read the thing and I didn't quite understand it.
It was more about Robin. Wiggy was going to redo his movie or do a part 2, but he wasn't going to use Robin. He was going to use like a younger, prettier actress instead of her. So basically he was pushing her out and having another one come in. And then during the dream, she showed up and was questioning him. And he was he totally got flustered during that.
Yes. Wow.
And it was just kind of weird because it was her subconscious and then conscious saying, are you pushing me out? Are you bringing in someone else? Mm-hmm. And there's been talk of Beth having a microphone in the studio. So, I mean, we know that is just torture for us listeners, but it could be something in Robin's head that she's worried about because he does bring her in from time to time. I mean, once every 2 to 3 weeks at best.
Right.
And, this week one of the cats was dying and Beth came in to say like there's an emergency or something. And they had to take a long break. And then, he came back and didn't say a word about it. But we later found out on Instagram that it was the cat had to be put down. And this cat was 5 pounds heavy. And I just want to say a PSA for cat owners, like as much as you love your cats and you want to give them a quality of life at the end of their life, if your cat is 5 pounds, their quality of life is 0. And you need to do them a service and put them down because no cat should be 5 pounds after being 10 or 15 years old. That's just horrible. And then to post pictures of you holding them on their last day. For public, no. For personal, yes, I get that. But to do what Beefus did for that cat and make it all about her and her sadness, it just didn't sit good with me. It didn't sit well with me. And I really have a soft spot for cats because I've put about 5 down in my lifetime because I've owned quite a few. And that cat was just, oh my gosh, it needed to be put down a long time ago, but she needed to take credit for it. And that's what made me mad. Yeah. I appreciate her taking care of cats. I appreciate her doing her best with 20 cats in a house. I can't imagine doing something like that. I have 4.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 cats is a lot. And I have some I have to probably go feed right now, but I'm here. So they'll get their stuff when I get done. But what she did to that cat was just horrible and awful. And so many of us witnessed that. And it was just sickening to watch. So let's hope that that's the end of that. And Robin's dream was about being pushed out. So that's where I got off on that tangent. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, she has fears of what's going to happen when she's gone. Will she be remembered? Will somebody replace her? Because she probably doesn't want to be replaced.
Well,
she probably wants the show to go on without her and still play her songs.
Well, here's the thing. They don't need her for the news because she hasn't done news in a year, basically. They don't need her for racial material because they don't do any. So what purpose does she serve other than being a live overpaid laugh other than being an overpaid live laugh track? What purpose does she serve? Nothing. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't add anything. She never really did, arguably. And now, like, you can imagine Wig thinking to himself, Jesus, I could save on that fucking salary and pocket that as well.
I kind of think that she's used to carry on conversations just so he has, it's not just his voice that we get sick of, it's his and hers. And so she can prompt him with a silly question, or sometimes she'll come at him, which is great, which we love. And she has been doing more and more of lately. So I don't know what's up with that. But every now and then she'll challenge him on his grammar. She'll challenge him on things he said or things he's talking to his parents in his parents' voice. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't know what her situation is. She's very private these days. We don't get a lot of information on her. And so she'll come through with a dream, and that will sort of propagate a conversation, and then it quickly is derailed into something else because there's no way Wiggy's going to talk about that.
The next, so we'll continue the clip just for the time being, and then there's a couple clips that tie into what Raven's just talking about in terms of grammar.
You don't start stomping my face, do you?
No, it was really interesting because I knew the actress.
Who was it, J-Lo?
No, it was this actress, Kim Cole.
I don't know her.
And I had met her before. And so there she was, and she was all excited because she got this part. Right. And I had to like deal with, her and my emotions and ego.
me, NPD. This is 34. This is solid 34.
I had met her before. And so there she was, and she was all excited because she got this part. Right. And I had to like deal with, her and my emotions and ego.
And I had to stop it right about there because it was 30 seconds. And this sounds like pure 34, like 100% NPD, overt NPD from Robin when you listen to it. So play a little more.
And everything. And, and then you didn't know what to do because now, here's this girl who's coming to play Robin, and you're right there when I see the two of you together.
She just can't let go of her MPD.
Yeah.
It's always going to come out.
Yep.
And then there was some discussion about maybe she won't get the role or maybe she will. And, the way it didn't, the story didn't end, but I was really like, it's okay. It's okay.
Wow.
Okay, that's a little odd. That is an odd dream. And if someone was into dream interpretation, Bob D, maybe you'd like to have fun with that one. It's like there's a bunch of levels to that one, bunch of layers. Only about 20 seconds left, guys. So
whatever happens is okay.
You want to know something,
isn't it
Robin?
Great for her.
Fred, where is Robin's music? Because that shows tremendous personal growth.
It didn't feel right to put it there.
Okay, good. By the way, Gary, would you cancel my lunch today with Kim Coles?
Funny enough, Kim Coles came up on my Twitter feed yesterday, so maybe there's some weird serendipity there. I have no idea. The next clip makes me laugh. Cara Devenu, aka Delavine.
Just listen. Just listen.
Okay.
Boy, did I waste time. I watched Will Smith's kid. I don't know his name. Jaden with Cara Devenu, who's a model.
I don't know her.
She's got a year to live. Oh my! You want to see the word?
Okay, so here we go. Jaden. Yeah, exactly. Number 19. This continues that one.
So, well, that's right up my alley and Beth's alley. We love these romantic movies. And I like that. And then I read on Daily Mail that Cara Devenu is dating Jaden Smith.
Devenu? You mean Delavini?
I don't know. Cara Devenu. Delavini. I don't know her name.
That's two no minds right there, guys. So just a real quick outro, guys, and I'm going to say some people have asked me privately about starting up a forum rather than using Facebook because of all the censorship, basically. And the only thing I have to say is this: unless every single YouTuber starts donating $1 a month, like doing the Patreon thing, or every single Facebook person starts donating monthly, it's not cost effective to have a forum the way it's going, because I'll be losing money. And we're not doing this to make a profit, but we're doing this to actually, grow. Raven just got a new microphone. You're not hearing it now because it's ordered and not coming. And we're having problems with the Skype, just lagging. That's a whole other issue. But if you guys are willing to, if you guys want that individual website, a new forum, that's going to require more of an investment from you guys. I'm sorry to say. It's not me asking for money. It's saying that's the reality. And in COVID 2020 and 2021, that's just sort of the way things roll. But we do appreciate all of you who have subscribed, and we put that towards the show. And more episodes coming this month, and a few bonus episodes as well. So any shout outs, Raven, that you'd like to give?
Absolutely. Felix Schneier, thank you for all your contributions. Jaden Wilson, C.A. Thompson, always love to see your posts. Matthew Schultz, just keep it coming. Whatever you're doing great. Michael Rose, Patrick, J.C. Rose, and Jimmy Page, who is often belated in the live threads, but we still love your posts, and we appreciate you listening and commenting after the fact, because it kind of enlightens us to some of the things maybe I missed during the live show, because I can't address every post that you guys make during the show. It's just, I can't juggle that many plates, and my phone isn't strong enough, but I love going back sometimes and just seeing comments I missed during the day, and I laugh out loud and I try to comment on them. So thank you, everybody, for all that you've done. Hope you've enjoyed this. We've had a ton of technical difficulties tonight, so I hope this comes out okay. And thanks. We'll keep doing what we're doing. So see you next time.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We love you. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, and pray for some more sunshine as the months progress. We love you. Take care.
Well, it sounds fascinating.
Hey, Howard, this makes sense. I just read in page 6, Diana DeGarmo is writing a book. It's called Go Away, Little Monster.
Well, Eric, I wish you luck with this book. I do.
And take your little dog with you.
And I'm very excited to have a reading and hear what you have to say, okay?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Artie, how many brain cells have you actually killed with coke and heroin?